Horsemen Academy, episode 7, I believe. This is your boy LP. Y'all know that I'm rarely prepared, but today I'm actually prepared for my interview. I have someone who has been very vital. If you've seen changes in the way that Poor Horseman has done some of its marketing activity, if you've seen changes in the way that Creators Guild has presented itself to the community, if you may have even seen some slight changes on my personal page, for those of you who follow me also, there's one person who probably is responsible and be on me, trust me, be on me about why we're not doing XYZ here and now. Today, I have the pleasure of being with Chasity. Please, Chasity, introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, everyone. I am Chasity Dion. I used to call myself Houston's #1 marketing consultant, but really my clients are worldwide. So I help small business owners strategically position themselves in front of their target audience, their way, their style. As my guy has stated, whatever needs to be done, I am a pivot strategist. I do it all.
Okay.
I do it all for sure.
Okay, so let's start then at the beginning. What got you into marketing? I mean, because it can be hyper specific for some,
right?
But it can be real vague for others. A lot of people don't even know what marketing is. Shout out to Tajay Bird, who was on Horsemen Academy also. He talked a bit about marketing, but let's get your perspective. Like, what got you into it and why marketing?
So I'm an OG of the game. I started in product sales when I had a successful 6-figure hair company. I call it private school, but I went to a school, yes, prep. And I didn't really know a lot of people. And I had the opportunity to study abroad when I went to U of H. And
nice.
The person who was, selling hair to me for my travel, I was kind of telling her what, my circumstances was and how I needed to make some money. She was like, well, why don't you, hit the Houston market? And I'm like, oh, okay. So because I knew I didn't know a lot of people, I decided to come up with the Mary Kay concept. You know how Mary Kay had different representatives throughout the city. My thought process was, I don't know a lot of people. How can I position this brand in front of a lot of people at one time? So I came up with, ambassadors before ambassadors was a thing.
Wait. So you flipped ambassadors for hair before anyone else was doing it?
Before there was ambassadors, influencers. Influencer marketing was, I've already put that on that's old news.
Yo, that's great. So on the Academy, I'm always shocked just about how creative people can be. Who would have known that you could get ambassadors for hair?
Well, they were like sales representatives. They were Mary Kay sales representatives.
Yeah.
They took a cut from what they sold.
Okay.
Utilizing social media as their main form. U of H, UTSA, Prairie View, TSU, PV, all of the universities.
I need to steal that right now. What can look, there's also a selfish reason for me doing Academy. I'm always trying to figure out a way to level up. What can I do? Can I sell hair? Why you look at me that way?
I mean, you can. There were some guys who came in and really hit the Houston market. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Yeah. So, do your thing. I can help you. You need to sell some bundles.
Okay. So from that, was that traditional marketing or was that you just kind of getting your feet wet into the space?
That was me just doing what I do. And it's the strategy component. I was manipulating social media because I knew that that's where a lot of individuals kind of hung out. Yeah. And just trying things. I'm a beta tester. I try stuff out. I see if it works. If it works, I say, okay, how can I make it better? If it doesn't work, I go back and try to figure out how to do X, Y, and Z. I realized that hashtags before hashtags were a thing on Twitter before it actually was a thing because it was like a search engine. I was utilizing the Twitter hashtag as a search engine to position myself in front of my audience. So that's how I individually was able to acquire momentum on Instagram before Instagram was a workplace or a marketplace. You know what I'm saying?
And now people would say that Instagram is real difficult to cut through the noise.
I don't understand. We just got to do what you got to do.
And that's what it is. It's obviously there, or at least maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, and we'll go back to your story as well. But a lot of people feel like Instagram now might be pay for play. Like, would you agree with that? Or
I mean, for me, I feel like there's so much opportunity to make money, but you have to move in the direction that is conducive to you. But what I show people is people buy into people, and if you're yourself, people buy into you. You know, there's so many angles where you can position yourself by truly being yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the beauty. People are looking for authenticity. And so although Instagram is pay to play, people do value those individuals who walk in their purpose, who are themselves, who are transparent with their journey, who are just themselves. People buy into people, and it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. So you went from hair.
I went from hair.
And then from hair, when did you determine I can do this at scale, not with just a product, but with individuals?
So I was a student first, and I joined on as a freelancer with another company, and I noticed things that I liked and I noticed things that I didn't like. There's an opportunity for me to purchase a piece of land, and because I didn't have my stuff together, my LLC wasn't established, my documentation wasn't established. Like, I was literally hustling. Hair Genetics was making so much money, but I wasn't legitimized. I didn't have my ducks in a row. And so when I wasn't able to buy that piece of land, when I wanted to be able to buy it, I said, I don't never want to be in this predicament again where I can't obtain something that I work hard for. And so that's when I made my pivot. And I made my pivot into consulting as my own entity, Declared Marketing. I knew what I stood for based on my experience in the past. And that was my gateway into consulting as a whole.
Wow. So you might say that, and we don't call anything a loss, that lesson of you missing out on something maybe that could have been impactful at the time, launched you into what you're doing now.
Yes. And I also think that my educational background, U of H, go Cougs, my studying abroad was definitely something that I never thought that I would do. Being an entrepreneur at a young age, and the lessons and losses that I learned there. But then working in corporate America also taught me how to numbers. They taught me insights. They taught me, you know, my first corporate role, I was an e-commerce marketing manager, and it was a magazine company that sold stuff that they got from China, and the profit margin was bananas. And literally based on data showed us how to make more money. I was making this company, the marketing team was making this company like $9 million off of some basic stuff. Like, it was the Amazon before Amazon was an Amazon.
It's always the marketing group that makes the money. It is always the marketing group.
I was making the people money, and it was data. And it was, if you do this way, it gets you here. And it was happening over and over and over again. E-commerce, dumb industry. So
from there, okay, that's a good segue question.
They fired me. From there, they fired me.
You was making them too much money. You probably asking for money too, wasn't you?
I was like, hell no. I'm making y'all too much money. You're about to rub me that check.
Nah, so most people, when you think e-commerce, that's not even an attainable thing for most people. Like, we still are the days where people are posting on Facebook Marketplace and don't realize that's e-commerce.
That's a hustle.
You know what I'm saying? They don't realize that that's e-commerce. So you were doing it at a huge scale.
Correct.
But maybe didn't feel like you were being paid your worth.
Correct.
Okay.
And eventually they fired me because I was pissed at work. I'm like, I ain't doing this. No, I was coming to work and the morale was going down. I said, they gave me severance. So thank you so much for giving me severance. Thank you.
Now, if someone's watching this, pay her coins. You know what I'm saying? Like, get her that money still. All right. So let's talk about Declared.
Okay.
If someone was interested today, how do they work with you? What does that process look like? And then maybe give us what Declared means to you.
So if you think about Declared Marketing is a 5-star digital marketing agency. We're marketing powered by people. You'll notice our style. Look at me, you guys. I'm a mommy. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up. I do what I want. But at the same time, like I said before, people, I want to be able to be myself. I'm sitting at the table with 7-figure earners, 6-figure earners, startups, interns, college attendees, it doesn't matter, but I'm able to be myself. I do what I want. Purpose people. When you walk in your purpose, things happen. If you do good by people, things happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Declared. On top of that, when you walk in your purpose, you have to be able to declare. I declare that I'm going to be X, Y, and Z. So Declared Marketing is passion, Passion is what wakes you up in the morning. Passion is what keeps you going. Passion has us here, right?
Yeah.
Practice is where you take those losses, you catch those wins, you build those relationships, but that's where we come in. We show you how to navigate that so you don't make the same mistakes all the time. My experience, my team's experience can help you navigate entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is crazy out here. And then once you get there, we provide you with the foundation, and then you jump into profit. And for a long time, as a young entrepreneur, profit was always money. I was chasing the bag. What we show you how to do is fall in love with your brand, because if you fall in love with your brand, you'll continue to want to wake up and do it over and over again. So Declare Marketing is really a community of purpose people who are walking in their purpose, who really enjoy what they do, who understand the value of, wins and losses, but at the same time, because they stick to it, they get to it, they scale, they grow, we get it popping.
So have you ever thought about motivational speaking? Because look, she almost had me want to actually do the stuff she's been telling me to do here recently. That's a motivating thing. Like, where did that style come from then? Because I think as a marketer, you also almost have to be a cheerleader for the brands that you work with.
I tell my clients I am not their accountability partner. I am their accountability partner.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Accountability partner is not your best friend.
Straight up.
My trainer is my accountability partner, and if Debo is listening, bro, that man works my nerve. But at the same time, I get up and I show up because I know somebody sees the best in me. I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I come from, this is how I met Nina. I'm an athlete. It's everybody can't be an athlete.
Yeah.
And so for me, as an accountability partner to my clients, it's like, I got their back. I'm going to tell them when they're wrong. I'm going to hold them accountable.
Oh, she's going to tell you when you're wrong. She's going to tell you when you're wrong.
But you got to be able to understand that Chasity, your coach, I'm in best interest of you at all times. If you mess with a Declare Marketing client, it's a problem. And I hate catching those conversations where people spend their last.
Yeah.
And then they don't get what they deserve. And so we don't have, as long as you show up, you communicate, you put your best foot forward, you step outside of your comfort zone, we're gonna get it popping.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay. So years of experience then for you started well into college, it sounds like.
High school.
Because see, most people, you mentioned the word pivot a lot, and I really like that. That's a word that I like to use quite a bit as well. Most people hit a point where they're like, I'm not liking what I'm doing.
Correct.
So I'm going to pivot. It sounded like with you were kind of already doing what you wanted to do. You just had to figure out a way to pivot to where it was your own.
Correct.
And then how challenging was that?
It's challenging because we got to talk about compensation.
Yeah,
and remember, I learned that early lesson of
entrepreneurs really don't get paid.
You know what I'm saying? I learned that early lesson of not chasing the bag. But I'm going to be honest with you, going back to the purpose people, man, I've been walking by faith for a long time, and God never ceases to amaze me.
That's
like
incredible.
He does it every time. And even when I get uncomfortable, as long as I walk by faith, as long as I know I do good by people, as long as I'm just Chasity. It just continues to, sprinkle on me. And I'm like, okay, God, you know what I'm saying? I see you working.
Yeah.
What's up?
Everything takes care of itself when you have that faith. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we want to give some people some actionable things as well.
Let's go.
You all got a chance to know Chasity. You're getting a chance to know Declare Marketing. I encourage you all to go find them. Where can people find you exactly before we jump into some of the actionable items? Because then that'll determine if they want to go look you up, etc. So where can they find you?
Simple way. I am somebody. No. Okay.
Right in that camera.
I am CHASITYDION. I am Chasity Dion. Okay. On the flip side, you can just type in branding and marketing and I'm gonna pop up.
That's what's up.
Period.
That's what's up. She's actually been teaching me some of that process as well.
Whoop.
Yeah, I know. All right. So let's give a young marketing person now. There's going to be someone who listens to this and they're like, wow, I really like what Chasity was talking about, but I'm just getting started. What would you recommend for an individual who wants to be in the marketing business to get started? And then also a brand what's one of the first things they should be doing to get some brand awareness?
Okay, give me that one more time. Give me the first question.
So the first one would be, if I was wanting to get involved as a marketing professional, what's the first thing you would recommend for them to get started? Second would be, if I was a brand that came to you, what would be that first thing you would want me to do to start getting brand awareness?
I think times have changed. If you were to ask me to step back into the corporate world with where digital marketing is, I may not be able to navigate that range. You know, I've kind of grown in what I do. I call myself a strategic partner, a clarity coach, whatever. But for me, I feel like you got to be a student of the game. And so if you're a young professional or someone, I do feel like either education, YouTube University is really where it's at. Start with YouTube University. YouTube University is going to teach you a lot of things. And then although I hate working for someone, I think corporate America taught me a lot of gems that you just can't take away. It shows you how to navigate people. It shows you how to show up when you don't want to show up. So I do believe that my resume as well, you know, my entrepreneur resume is cold, but my corporate career resume is just as colder. So I do believe you just got to be a student, and that just depends on which realm you want to go into. You know, I'm not advocating for education anymore. Having degrees has definitely worked in my favor, but just be a student of the game if you could do anything. No,
that makes sense. And then for the brand then, I could share some gems that you gave me, but what would you share with a brand that's trying to get their name out, recognition? What's kind of that entry point you would recommend for them in a marketing aspect?
Hire declared marketing, number one.
Yeah, right in that orange camera. Go ahead.
Hire declared marketing, period. Okay, before we jump into that, I got a team. I got Nina. That is the go-getter. She's going to get it done. She is amazing. She helps me with events, social media management, content curation, all the above. Okay, I got a team full of goats.
Shout out to Nina.
And then we got Tracy. Tracy is a strategic strategist. He's a content curation. The dude is really off the chain. And so that's my team. So if you don't get me, I got two other individuals that are popping too. So that's number one. Okay. But
let's say they can't get to you.
Let's say they can't get to me. Best tip is understanding that Instagram is still the number one platform.
Okay. Even over TikTok.
I feel like if you are, a lot of my audience is 25 to 40.
So they may be out of that, or at least to be the most efficient at TikTok. Okay.
Yeah, and to learn something else, we're not trying to figure it out. It's the kids. And so if your audience is between 25 to 50, you got to get on Instagram. You got to have some type of plan for Instagram. There needs to be an aesthetic for Instagram. The OGs still hang out on Facebook. Facebook is still an entity that is being utilized. It has amazing shareability. And then if you are a professional, you need to be on LinkedIn. Those three are the ones that we pivot. On top of that, you got to make sure that your website is optimized. I don't want to go to a website that I got to click through. I don't want to go to a website that doesn't have the proper branding.
She talking to me, y'all. That's what it is. She talking to me.
You just really got to make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. And some platforms require more attention and some don't. But you got to be optimized in all realms. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Now, we always ask everyone who's came on the Academy, we ask a simple question. If we were to just have 10,000 today, no responsibility for that 10,000, no bills due, no nothing. This is for you in your business. As a person in marketing, what would you recommend someone to do with that 10,000 right in that orange?
I would recommend you guys to develop a business plan. Got to get your business plan. Business plan is going to be your, not your foundation, but it's going to be your framework. Okay. When they say you need to get your ducks in a row, you need to get your ducks in a row. You need to make sure that you have proper documentation, LLC. You need to make sure that you have your business credit together. You need to make sure that you got your personal credit together. That's going to help establish you when you really got to spend some money. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to, if you're trying to scale your brand, there's going to be a moment where we're going to have to drop that business credit, make that investment, write that thing off on the taxes and keep it moving. So business plan, business credit along with your personal credit, proper branding. You know, graphic designers, when you find something, first of all, you got to have your vision. If your vision isn't together, it needs to look a certain type of way. And you need to find someone who can bring that vision to life, or you can, once again, hire Declare Marketing, because we have a network of individuals that can help you. After that, that's your branding. That's what your brand looks like. And then you need an expert to come in, i.e. Declared Marketing, and show you how to take whatever you have, that business plan, personal credit, business credit, and branding, and show you how to take it to the next level.
I like that.
As simple as that.
I like that. So before we close, I personally want to say that the people that I've had on Academy, I've had personal relationships with, and I find a lot of value in those individuals. Chasity uniquely is someone I more recently met. This is a newer relationship for me, and y'all know how I am. Anyone who watches The Poor Horseman, y'all know that nobody even knows my name, let alone what I do, etc. And she's been invaluable to what we're working on and some things that we've got planned. So I'm gonna announce today, because this comes out Thursday, that we're also working on a podcast social for International Podcast Day. So you'll get more information about that Thursday as well. Period. When this content goes out. So I just want to say thank you for spending some time with us. Any words of advice or anything you would like to share with anybody that will get this, or that you want to make sure you get that message out?
Honestly speaking, before you invest in anyone, do your research. Google, ask around. You want to make sure that you are investing in the right things, the right people. You know, like entrepreneurship is scary, you know, and you want to make sure that you have individuals that are in your corner that see your vision and want to make sure that you scale, grow, and growing your brand. Number 2, for my busy business owners, for my entrepreneurs, for my mompreneurs, for my corporatepreneurs, anybody, 10 minutes of meditation. Taking 10 minutes of your time of meditation. You can go on YouTube, 10-minute guided meditation. It is life-changing. I've realized that taking time for myself as an entrepreneur, a mom, a wife, a person, a friend, a consultant is very necessary. So on top of that, focus on your mental health, continue to pray, continue to walk in your purpose, and God got you, period.
All right, that's episode 7 of Horsemen Academy. Again, thank you for spending the time. If you like what you heard, go follow her at I am Chasity Dion. Is there anything else on your social media that I need to know?
All of the funnels connect.
Okay,
so just go to my personal page.
That's another thing I need to be working on. And if you like this, again, we appreciate your support. Go to at The Poor Horseman on any of your platforms. Rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. And you know, last week I was wearing the merch. JC had it on here recently. We've had a great response from that, so we'd hope you support that as well. And Patreon, where we get a little behind the scenes of a lot of our content. We'd love if you support that also. That's episode 7. We're out. Peace.